Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to Kōrero With Vaishali, where everyone comes to love, laugh, live the moment and inspires all to live our life in its authentic way, being the best version of ourselves. So today we are on Kōrero With Vaishali, elections for the throne, Hamilton. So, who we have today? I know, you all are excited. Who's this? Is this a councillor? Is this the current councillor? Or is this the candidate who is standing for the councillor? Or is this the candidate who is standing for the mayor of the Hamilton? Or is this someone you've been asking me to bring them on? Alright, I know you all are excited, so I am. Let me reveal it. So today we have Rachel Karalus for mayor of Hamilton. Yes, Rachel is here. Highlights of those four. You've been asking me to bring her on. Here she comes. So Rachel, she's CEO, former lawyer, long-time governor now, standing for mayor of Hamilton as well as Hamilton East. Grounded in integrity, driven by purpose and ready to lead. Ready to lead and bring the best for our people. So let's welcome Rachel.
Thank you, Vaishali, for having me. It's really a privilege to be here, and you can tell from my smile that I'm excited. Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, thank you. That's really great to have you here. It's my privilege to have you. Actually, I already covered three of the highlighted candidates who are standing for the mayor.
Yeah.
And since then, I think everyone was wanting, when is Rachel coming? Okay, Rachel is coming. I need to check with her. And I'm glad that you said yes, and we are here today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Let's catch up and know what are your plans, what's that best you're planning to bring for our city, our people. So let's catch up.
Yeah, so I think, the first thing I'm going to focus on once elected is the three priorities that I've been campaigning on, which are to strengthen the foundations and unlock growth, to advance through technology and innovation, and to plan for generations that we will never meet. So our children, our children's children, and our children's children's children.
Great, thank you. Yes, you've gone a little bit further, but okay, we'll start. First thing first,
Yes.
I would like you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, personal life and professional life, and then we'll get into your goal for the city.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
a little bit about yourself and your professional life, please, if you can tell us.
Yes, absolutely. So I am the sum of many parts, and by that I mean I am, I'm part Pacific. I was born in Samoa. My mother is Pacific. And I'm also of New Zealand mixed European descent. So my father's roots hail from Lithuania and Switzerland. So Karalus is actually Lithuanian. And like many of those that watch your show and many of the community in Hamilton, I'm not just one thing. I am, as I said, as I started, the sum of many parts. I am the eldest of 9 children. And I was raised in an environment where our parents really instilled in us that education, service and hard work were the foundations of well-being. And so we all have been educated we had the privilege of being educated to a high standard, and we've taken those values of hard work, service, into our own lives. So that's kind of me in a nutshell from a professional perspective. I was a lawyer for about 13 years, and for 10 of those years I spent that time representing city councils at the height of the leaky building crisis. And we really developed the law of negligence at that time. It was not a great time for many people who were involved in that level of litigation. But certainly it has given me really good insights into the complex environment within which city councils operate. Following my legal career, I was a CEO for 8 years of a for-purpose organisation. We delivered health and social services to communities. We did some really exciting things, like we stood up an early learning centre for up to 85 children. We set up primary care. And the other thing that we did was I led this negotiation, was the acquisition of Hamilton East Medical Centre, which is one of our largest medical practices in Hamilton. So I've got a really good, sort of base knowledge about social services, education, health, but fundamentally I've got a really good understanding about community and, that things need to be built from the ground up, and so it's all about people.
Great, thank you. What inspired you to stand for Mayor of Hamilton?
What inspired me to stand for Mayor of Hamilton? I love Hamilton. I love the people of Hamilton, and I absolutely believe that together we can build a city that we all enjoy living in.
Great, thank you. All right, so what challenges do you think Hamilton is facing? Have you got any strategies around them to minimize the problems?
Vaishali, the thing that I've been hearing the most about and the most passionately about from people since I launched my campaign is actually rates increases in a cost of living crisis. And you're nodding because I'm sure you're hearing similar things. Yes, definitely
a lot.
Yeah, and so that actually is what my first priority, strengthening the foundations and unlocking growth for the city, came out of. So what I mean by that is really understanding what council's mandate is first and foremost, and then getting ourselves into a position where council is delivering services within its means. And in order to arrive at that position, there's two questions that we need to ask in relation to each expenditure line. And the first is council delivering the right services? And by that I mean, are we delivering the services that the people of Hamilton want? And the second question is, are the people of Hamilton getting value for money? And anything that, in either of those questions that get a negative response, then they're absolutely up for review. The other part to that is around the culture of local government. And so I think it's really important that local government embodies a culture of service at every level. We're here to serve the ratepayer. What that means is all of our decision making needs to come back to what's best for the people of Hamilton. Council needs to be a thoughtful steward of ratepayers' money. And just because you don't own your own home and pay rates, you're definitely paying somewhere, whether it's you might be paying someone else's rates through rent. But everybody's contributing to this, so everybody is owed that same duty. And what it comes down to is every decision maker in council exercising thoughtful stewardship over every dollar. And what that means, or it translates to, is I need to treat every dollar of ratepayer money as though I was spending my own hard-earned money. And for some families, what that rate payment means is I've got to make a choice between a holiday, I've got to make a choice between heating, I've got to make a choice between super wines or Tim Tams, just for example, But
it's a reality at the moment.
Yes, that is very much a reality. And also, are we going to have meat this week? And fresh vegetables and cheese and butter. So there's that assessment, that financial analysis, and then that culture mindset shift that's needed. Yeah.
Great, thank you. All right, you mentioned Hamilton to be a thriving city and ready for future. What do you think will turn city into thriving city and make it ready for the bright future?
Vaishali, we have some great things happening in Hamilton. We've got, the regional theatre that's coming to fruition. We just had the announcement about the medical school. We have the zoo. We've got a great museum. We've got beautiful rose gardens. We've got, all the makings, all the ingredients of a great city. I do believe, however, that we could raise the ambition of the city. We could raise the ambition of the city through how we might partner with our neighbours, for example, so that we're moving towards a shared vision of what the future of the region might look like through, the bringing of events to the city, tourism opportunities, how we use our sports and recreational facilities, just as an example. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Yes, we discussed these things around here as well. So great to know your views on that. That's amazing. How are you going to implement these projects in next 3 years if you are elected, saying that being the mayor of the Hamilton? How you will be implementing these projects?
So yeah, it's good to look at them as projects, but I think that they need to be implemented from the get-go, and then you can't manage what you don't measure, so we need to set some milestones that need to be measured around strengthening the foundation, around how we advance with technology, and around our planning. The planning for future generations is kind of, for me, that's about, we can't keep planning according to political cycles. And I think that's been, one of the handbrakes for how we plan in the city. We really need to this is about leadership, not political cycles, not politics. So, yeah.
True, that's great. Yes, that will be the good vision to take things ahead and forward to bring the best for the people. Amazing. So what is your long-term vision for Hamilton, and how do you plan to achieve it? Long-term plan.
So my vision for Hamilton is a stronger, safer city. And when I talk about a stronger city, there's a range of things, but maybe just 3 key examples. And the first is cities start with people. So it's all about the people. It's about people living well. So it's about clean water. It's about affordable housing of choice. It's about an integrated transport system, and it's about community facilities for cohesion and connection. It's about referencing again. We know that together we're stronger. So it's about partnering well with our neighbours, partnering well with business, just partnerships generally, in order to gain mutual benefits from shared synergies and values. And then the third thing around stronger cities, actually championing our local entrepreneurs, our businesses, our creatives, our hustlers, our ambassadors, and I think just those 3 are good examples of building a stronger city. A safer city, by a safer city I mean I should be able to move around the CBD whatever time and feel safe. I should be able to move around the city through a mode of transport of my choice, of my preference, and be safe, whether that's in a car or on a bike or whether I'm a pedestrian. And then there's psychological safety. And it shouldn't, no matter where I come from, no matter who I am, I should experience a sense of belonging in my community. So that's my vision for a safer, stronger Hamilton. How will I achieve that? Well, I won't achieve it alone. Again, we're stronger together, so it will need to be achieved through a team. And it will be achieved through, crystal clear focus on the execution of those 3 priorities that I've already outlined, and because no strategy is going to save a city, no policy is going to save a city. It's about execution.
Great, thank you. When you say partnerships and working together, it is really amazing. When we work together, it's a kind of dream work together. But when there are many people coming together, there will be always a conflict. Everyone is not going to agree on same thing. So how do you deal with the conflicts? How do you deal with conflicts? How's your approach for the conflicts?
Or competing interests?
Yes,
I can give you a really good example where we've managed to overcome different interests, and I think the Kōrero Pacifica village is a really good example of partnership. So that was a partnership between central government, local government, mana whenua, the philanthropic community, the business community, and broader community. And you would think that that our interests don't align all the time, but there's certainly points in time where our interests all align and converge, and that's what you need to capitalise on, and those are the things that you need to build on. So in terms of conflict, I think it's about finding commonalities, it's about finding areas of shared values and building on that instead of focusing on our differences, because I think as you get to know people through relationship, usually what you find is that you have more in common than you don't. Yeah.
Great, that's wonderful. Thank you. How would you address housing affordability in Hamilton?
So just to speak to my experience in the housing space, I know a bit about this from my time with Hamilton Christian Night Shelter, which is now Te Whare Kōrero or Kirikiriroa. my work with Habitat for Humanity Central, and also standing up Pacific Housing Waikato, and the reasons behind why these organisations exist. And so housing affordability and homelessness, they're hand in hand. And so in terms of addressing housing affordability in our city, I think there's some very practical things that council can do to help in this space. And the first action to champion is really around prioritising sorting out the infrastructure gaps in areas where there is a consenting handbrake because our infrastructure isn't fit for purpose or is at capacity. That would be the first order of business to address housing affordability and to support the housing stock that's so desperately needed in our city.
Great, thank you. All right, we are jumping into one of the things that you thought Hamilton is facing and would definitely need change around, which is the rates. So, what are your thoughts on rates? And saying that value of houses has drastic change, bringing evaluations down, and rates are still same. Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I think I'm not an incumbent, so I'm not familiar with the detail of how the valuation challenges came to be. But you will recall in the recent years that house prices went very high for a period. Yes. So, in some respects, there's an argument that the market or that that things are being corrected. But we haven't addressed the increasing rates, and so I absolutely understand that there's a lot of pain out there in terms of a lot of confusion actually, and I would say even outrage, because it's not just overcorrection in some cases. In some cases, it's people's homes. Their greatest asset has decreased in value by 150 to 200,000 without any real kind of justification or explanation. So I think that the real issue here is actually the rates for people. For people, what I'm paying for rates is the lack of affordability of rates, because rates are going up, but wages and salaries are not going up. That's right. And also cost of living is not. So everything is being squeezed. So yeah, it's tough.
Tough times, right? Mm-hmm. No, good, thank you. What initiatives will you introduce to promote environmental sustainability in Hamilton?
So two things. As I said at the beginning, planning boldly for future generations we may never meet, and that is actually about protecting our limited natural resources and our environment. And then the second thing is, as we've seen in recent times, these severe weather events that create havoc in our cities, and so it's making sure that we've got infrastructure that's fit for purpose and ready to meet severe weather events. So making sure that our stormwater systems are able to cope with something that may actually eventuate for us. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Do you think the existing public transportation is efficient, or do we need to make some major changes, so we are ready for the future, as it's the fastest growing city in the country?
Yeah, so public transport currently sits with regional council, but that may change, as you know, with the central government announcements around the potential for regional councils to be, all the RMA changes that are happening. And anecdotally, what I hear is that the bus system in Hamilton, which is delivered by Waikato Regional Council, is actually very good. And I also hear that the app that sits underneath it, and I've been given a demonstration, is actually pretty good too. And so I think that for Hamilton City Council, there's potentially an opportunity to celebrate that a bit more and promote that a bit more to our people. And then the other part, just in terms of whether we need to look at additional public transport, I think we're not quite at the capacity where that's warranted. For example, subways, In saying that, we are planning for the future, and it is conceivable that in the near future that there could be an amalgamation of councils that make sense. So Waipa, Wakato District, Matamata Piako, or that conversation. Who knows where that will land? But if we were to do that, then there could very well be a strong case for looking at what other public transport modes we might need in the city.
Great, thank you. What steps will you take to protect and enhance Hamilton's green spaces?
Look, I think Hamilton, we're really blessed that our forefathers had the foresight to protect the West Town Greenbelt and the East Town Greenbelt, and I wouldn't be looking to disturb that kind of thinking. If anything, as the city grows, I think there's a compelling case for further green spaces such as these.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, I think we already gone into mental health services, but I will ask you a little bit more about, so you can share your views on this. How will you support mental health services and addiction recovery programs in the city?
So, Vaishali, the Local Government Act reforms are looking to make it very clear what essential or core services for council are. So it's things like infrastructure, public transport, waste, civil defence emergencies, museums, libraries, reserves and recreational spaces. And they're going to remove the well-beings from that legislation. And so in saying that, I do think there's a very important role that council has to play in mental health and addictions, and it's like homelessness. We can't ignore the need. And having led an organisation that was delivering mental health services, I can speak very strongly to the need, not just in primary but also in secondary, and just how stretched those services are and what the demand is. So from a local government perspective, I think there's absolutely a role to play. First one is strong advocacy to central government for investment. Secondly, leadership and support for those experts that are already working in that space, so helping to connect and empower groups to ensure a joined up cohesive response for the city. And then the other thing is we have all these council assets and facilities that potentially could be made available for clinics, these are all practical ways in which local government could support mental health and addictions.
Oh, great, thank you. Again, related to healthcare services, how do you plan to improve access to healthcare services for all residents?
Yeah, this is a big one because we obviously have a shortage of GPs and also issues with the funding, capitation. So capitation doesn't always fund the consultation, and so you see less GPs and fees rising, which means that access is a real challenge whether you're in Glenview or whether you're here in Rosatuna. And so I think again very much a role for for local government to play. Some key actions that I would look to champion include the zoning that's needed to enable the delivery of community clinics or community health hubs. I think there's an opportunity to broker partnerships between Te Whatuora, between iwi providers, between the likes of Braemar Charitable Trust that's doing awesome work, but to broker partnerships between groups to bring care closer to the community. And then I think the third action to champion would be utilising data that's available in primary and secondary care to tell a compelling story, to identify gaps for investment.
Great, thank you. How will you engage young people in civic life and decision-making processes?
Yeah, this is an excellent question. I was looking at the demographics of those that are enrolled, and so I think it's 47% of 18 to 24-year-olds are enrolled to vote. And that doesn't translate necessarily into voters. And I think, having been involved somewhat in the community space, I think it's really important that we use young people who are engaged in these spaces to ask young people who are not engaged why it is that they're not engaged, and then that comes back for us to actually focus on addressing, because they'll speak to who they trust. True. Yeah, I think that's just ask them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great, thank you. What initiatives will you introduce to support youth employment and skill development, as they're the biggest asset for any development?
Yes, so I had the privilege of being manutaki with the Waikato Wellbeing Project for the group that was focused on those young people that are not in education and employment, and it is that cohort of young people. And I think there's some providers, there's experts working in this space who are doing this really well, and they need to be celebrated and championed. So you've got Smart Waikato, you've got Blue Light. So I think it's about strengthening those experts that are already working on supporting young people to transition from school into work. It's about working with employers to build that network of employers who are willing to engage in that space. And I think too, it's about hearing from the young people themselves. I know we've got the Rangatahi Action Plan, and I think they've just established a youth council, or they've approved the establishment of a youth council. And I think it's not just about hearing from young people or consultation, but it's actually about co-design, like giving them some skin in the game and actually responding to. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay. What strategies will you implement to attract new businesses and industries to Hamilton?
New businesses and industries to Hamilton.
Who can boost the economy?
So this one, we need to make Hamilton a place that's easy for business to say yes to. And that means better planning, that means smart incentives, and that means a council that's ready to partner, not being a hurdle. And I think too, the other thing would be for us to focus on those industries where we as a city have some shared alignment. So things like agri-tech, advanced manufacturing and logistics.
Great, thank you. And saying that, what would you do to support these small businesses or local businesses? Do you have any plans in your mind or something like that?
Yes, so our small and medium enterprises, our SMEs, I'm sure you know this from previous discussions, make up about 97% of our business community across the country, and 47% of the income, and so they're not just our backbone, they're our engine, and it's really important that they're well supported. Some key actions to champion include procurement, so ensuring that procurement prioritises our local businesses, that's the first one. When it comes to grants and innovation, making sure that these opportunities are accessible. We can improve on our communication and our navigation, because a small to medium sized business shouldn't need to engage a consultant to participate in a process such as procurement or accessing a grant. So there's some key starters. Yeah.
Great, thank you. How will you ensure that City Council decisions are data-driven and evidence-based?
I think the council decisions are already largely data-driven and evidence-based. From what I've seen, I think that the key thing will be, though, what data is missing, what are the gaps, like what are we not seeing, and then making sure that that information is available so that the complete picture is there to support sound decision making.
Great, thank you. How do you plan to provide regular updates on the progress towards reaching your campaign promises and plans if you're elected?
Yeah, so I was a lawyer for a very long time, and I don't know if you know this about law, but you're accountable for every 6 minutes of your time. And so I love accountability, and I thrive in that. So some people don't like it, and I'm a little bit like, well, what does that say? Like, you know, what you know, but I love measurement.
Great.
Yeah, and transparency and accountability. And I'm very open to hearing from your viewers, Vaishali, what that might look like for them, because I think there's no point measuring what no one's interested in.
Sure.
So I want to measure what's important to the people of Hamilton.
Great, thank you. All right. Okay, what are the top, these are the quick, speedy answer, or yeah, you can answer your way anyway. We're coming to the end now. So what are the top 3 things Hamilton needs right now?
Top 3 things.
Any top 3 things that you think Hamilton needs right now, and it can bring meaningful difference to everyone's lives?
I think that we need a shared vision. The city needs a shared vision, and we need to raise our ambition levels in respect of that shared vision. I think that we need sound financial management in order to get us back on track. You know, we need to reduce our debt and the interest burden that we're paying, that our ratepayers are paying. And then the third thing, I think that you know, one of the things I hear that I'm seeing is Hamilton is full of courageous entrepreneurs who are all supporting each other. They don't view it as being in competition. They're actually, can I tell you this? So this morning I went to an event. It was a collab between, she's a photographer but she has a clothing label. It's called Maine. She did a collab with Cream Eatery. The two you wouldn't sort of normally think, but what they've done is they've released some clothing, and this is awesome. So one of the things that they released was a sweatshirt that's made out of recycled plastic, 22 plastic bottles. And then another thing, another item of clothing was this beautiful girl, Ash. She gets cut-offs, end-of-line material, because that would otherwise go to the tip. She buys it, she then designs it and uses it. It might take a time for it to come into kind of thing, but one of the other items that was there for sale was made out of end-of-line material. And, you know, I just think the spirit of supporting one another, the spirit of collaboration, if we could harness that, energy, this city would be unstoppable. Great. And that's the third thing I think, you know, if we could celebrate and promote that.
Definitely, that's amazing. I think it is like, you know, when we say working together, teamwork, dreamwork, I think these collaborations are part of that.
Yes.
It brings that value.
Yes.
So which is amazing, you know.
Yes.
Oh, great. Thank you. That was a real good one. All right. Now, interesting one. What would you do if you are given $1 million grant right now? What would you use it on?
Oh, so many areas. Okay. Water is life. The Waikato River, the Waikato River, the Awa, it's the crown jewel of all the jewels of our city, and it needs a lot of love. Yeah, because if you look at Hooker Falls, that's the same water flowing down to here, and you see the big difference, right? It's beautiful, and then it gets here. So I would invest it in the Awa.
What would you do?
Clean it. I don't know, like, you know, there's so many smart people out there at the university, you know, environmental scientists. Like, I would give it to them to come up with how do we how do we best utilise that $1 million to have the maximum impact on our awa. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Awesome, that's perfect. All right, do you have any message or any, would you like to say anything to our audience?
First of all, I would say vote. Second of all, I would say understand STV. So make sure that you vote for a list. So rank your choices. And then the last thing I would say is that this is a time for a different set of skills. This is a time for leadership beyond politics. Head for detail, heart for Hamilton, vote for Karalus #1. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for coming on Kōrero with Vaishali and sharing your knowledge, insights, and what's the best you plan to bring for our people. Thanks. Amazing. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here.
That's amazing. Thank you. So people, as she said, yes, check the campaigns and please vote. Doesn't matter whom you vote, check campaigns, check the what they're promising and whatever aligns to your own vision, please vote. Thank you.